This week's movie is an MTV teenage soap opera that teaches us that girls with small breasts are not cool or attractive, but all their problems can be solved by getting a boob job, loosely disguised as a horror movie about two killer paramedics. We watched Old 37. We watched it so you don't have to, so you know what time it is. What's up, Moon Goons? Welcome to Horrible Horror, the podcast where we watch the worst of the worst in horror movies. I'm your host, Marshall Hampton. With me, as always, is my buddy, my co-host, my right-hand man, my best man, Mr. Aaron Southworth.
Hi.
Hi.
How's it going?
It's going all right.
Going good, buddy?
And Aaron brought the drink of the day. Aaron, you want to tell our fine listeners what the drink of the day is?
Okay, I guess, sure. I just grabbed a 6-pack of Schlafly Kolsch.
Schlafly.
Yeah.
St. Louis Brew.
St. Louis Brew, yeah.
Keeping it local.
Yeah.
Kolsch. It's just
Kolsch.
fun to say, though, too.
It is fun to say Kolsch,
It's a fun word to say.
I like Kolsch because it's
the Goldilocks.
not too light, not too heavy, just perfect.
Yeah.
It's
a Goldilocks beer.
German blend. I've been having a few already, so that's why I said German, not German.
Okay, now before we get to our main movie this week, I want to mention
our main event of the evening.
Main event. Oh my god, I forgot what I was going to say. Shirt sale. We have still running our shirt sale on our website, so you can run over there and grab a Horrible Horror t-shirt for the low price of $14.99.
I should probably post an ad.
Probably should.
Yeah.
Probably be a good idea to do
because
that.
now you can get our limited run Horrible Horror podcast t-shirts. We have them all the way up to 3X.
Yep.
Down to medium for men, and we even have the girly cut.
Not a whole lot left in the girl sizes, but we have a few.
We have more girls getting these shirts than guys.
That is.
I know, it's kind of.
All right.
Hey, ladies.
I'll take it. Yeah. What's up?
You listening out there? I like your style, so keep buying our shirts.
So, also, we just kicked off our 2018-2019 Horrible Horror March Movie Madness Tournament of Awfulness. You
didn't have to close your eyes.
I did not have to close my eyes that time. I was able to get through that one. So we actually we finished round one of the Haddonfield side of the bracket. And so if you want to, we're actually going to do something different this year. We're going to give the results of that in a little bonus episode. So we're going to record a bonus episode right after we get done with this, and we'll post it at the same time.
Yeah, just a little bonus episode, just because when I was, you listen back to some of them, some of them I want to talk about further. We can go a little bit deeper in depth, but still won't be a large one. Just like Marshall said, just a bonus thing.
Yeah. So if you want to get the results of that, for everybody who voted in the first round or our opening bracket, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Keep them coming. The next round of voting will start this upcoming Monday. So by the time you're hearing this, you'll be able to vote on the next. We'll start Crystal Lake bracket.
Booyah.
So yeah, check out the little bonus episode for the results of the votes and our little, our comments about the results as well. All right, so moving on to Old 37. This was actually a
listener reviewed, suggested.
Yeah,
sorry,
we're gonna review it.
Yes,
they suggested it.
Have another beer, Marshall. Catch up with me.
Okay.
Is my mic on?
It is on.
Okay.
Yes. Unfortunately, it's on right now. This movie was released on March 21st of 2015. It was actually released at the Horror Hound Film Festival, where it made its first.
Right on, over in Indy.
Yeah. Well, it could have been the Indy one. I think they have one in like Cleveland or Cincinnati too. I forget what. I think they have one. They rotate or something. You can find this movie on Vudu, Amazon Prime, and iTunes. It's free on Amazon Prime right now.
Thank God.
And it's written by Paul Travers and Joe Landis. Directed by Christian Winters under the name Alan Smithy. Now, interesting fact about this. Some people may already know this, but I didn't. I found this to be more interesting than the movie itself. The name Alan Smithy is actually a common pseudonym for directors whose film was basically was taken away from them in the process of directing, or they
really,
yeah, or they it was recut heavily against the director's wishes in a way that completely alters the film. So they it's not really my film anymore.
So it's like a pen name or an alias for someone who's like basically, we're taking this film away from you. and they're under protest about it.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. So here's some facts about that I looked up. I found it very interesting. The Directors Guild contract generally does not permit a director to remove his or her name from their films. The Directors Guild has been striving for decades to establish the director as the author of the film, and part of getting the credit for the successes is taking the blame for the failures. The only exceptions they make are cases in which a film was clearly taken away from a director and recut heavily against his or her wishes in ways that completely altered the film. Directors are required to appeal to the Guild in such cases. If the appeal is successful, their name is replaced by Alan Smithee, Smithee, 2 E's. So if you notice a film by name of Alan Smithee, it is not what the director intended and is likely not going to be a very good movie. Alan Smithee is also an anagram for the Alias Men, which is kind of cool when you think about the origins. And directors are still allowed to use other pseudonyms as their authors, but only as pseudonyms such as used by director Nathan Geron and one of our personal favorites here, David DiCaprio, was actually mentioned in this.
Good old DD.
Good old DD. But those pseudonyms are theirs and a method of detachment rather than disownership of the film.
Interesting.
Yeah, I found that really interesting, actually.
Dropping knowledge with horrible horror.
Yeah.
Nice.
Educational moment right there. And like I said, I found that more interesting than the movie itself. So it's downhill from here.
But they kind of, just by reading that, you kind of gave the listeners a warning. It's like, basically, if it's going to be Alan Smithee, it's most likely not going to be a good movie.
Yeah.
So let's dive in.
So the cast, first of all, it stars Kane, Hodder, and Bill Moseley. We all know who they are, so I'm not even going into
those
them.
are your big names.
Your big two. This girl named Angel is played by Brandy Cyrus. She only has 6 credits. She was in Hannah Montana. And
she looks fucking young. Jesus.
Well, her stepfather is Billy Ray Cyrus, and she is the older maternal half sister to Miley Cyrus.
No shit.
Yeah,
we're talking. Don't tell my heart.
Yep.
My breaker heart. That guy.
That guy.
Love that song. But yeah, so she's a Cyrus. She's a stepsister
of the Cyruses of whatever.
Wow, the Cyruses of
she's a half sister, not half sister
okay.
to Miley's older half sister.
Wow.
Then Samantha is played by Catherine Blades. Only reason I mention her is because I don't even know who Samantha is in this movie, but she played the young Trish Walker in the Jessica Jones series on Netflix, so that's kind of cool. Mm-hmm. And the last person we're going to mention is Brooke, who's played by Olivia Alexander. Now, Olivia is an alumni of Horrible Horror, and if you ask like Aaron and Chris and maybe even Sarah, she's maybe even considered somewhat of Horrible Horror royalty. But it's been a long time since we've seen her on the show because she played Giselle in Killer Eye Halloween Haunt.
Oh.
And we all know that nobody parties without the jizz.
No one parties without the jizz.
So we have the jizz back in this movie.
Is it the mom?
Jizz? No.
Yeah.
Oh, you're so disappointing. Jizz was like the party girl who came in, snuck through the window, and was like, no, he partied out the jizz. She was the bitch.
No. I know who Jizz is in Halloween Haunt. I'm talking about
Brooke. She was Brooke, the super bitchy, ultra bitch girl.
Well, she still looks nice and young.
Yeah.
Good for her.
So we open in 1977, and we see these two kid brothers playing and getting hushed by the father, who's sitting by radio equipment listening to like police scanners and shit. And he hears a radio report about a single vehicle accident. He stands up and he's like, tells his kids, "Let's go!
Let's roll, boys!
Yeah, roll out! Regulators, mount up!" And so we cut to the site of this roadside accident. The father gets out of the ambulance, leaving his 2 sons in the front seat.
I do like how it's 1977 and the car that's been, run off the road or whatever is like an SUV. It's like a 2000s SUV.
So the father approaches this female who's laying injured on the roadside. Her legs all sorts of fucked up. It's like
and
broken,
the music
bleeding.
is like bum, 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 bum.
Yeah.
So it's like okay, this is bad.
Yeah,
it's really letting you know fucked up shit is happening. Look down, you motherfuckers.
Yeah, it really is. So the father kneels down next to the woman, says to her, "Don't worry, I'm a paramedic."
And that is a line that's used quite a bit.
Yes.
"Don't worry, I'm a paramedic."
Yeah. I'm Batman. I mean, that's how they came. I don't know why I said that.
Batman paramedic.
He then shoves several fingers down her throat, gagging her, basically bowling ball gripping her mouth, and eventually, I guess, suffocating her to death because I'm guessing that's what happened.
I was intrigued by this. I thought it'd be kind of interesting because it looked like he's trying to make her barf.
Yeah.
It was my first thought, and I was like, ooh, That'd be cool to see if she just goes, and just like barfs up a whole bunch of stuff and starts choking on it because he's a pretty big dude.
Yeah.
Looks
I
like
think she'd throw up before she suffocates with like just the gag reflex. But anyway, so
puke is yucky. No. I'd rather die.
So yeah, that's weird enough. And then he runs his fingers over her bleeding leg wound.
Yeah, she has this gaping wound on her leg,
around the shin bone. And so his fingers are covered in blood. And so then he licks the blood off his fingers and starts sucking his fingers.
Yeah, he's like shoving his fingers into the wound. Like he's basically finger banging her wound.
Yeah.
And sucking the juices off.
Yeah, exactly. He goes back for more as his sons watch in shock and horror from the ambulance.
These kids do not see, like, their mouths are agape.
Yeah.
They're just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
This doesn't seem like it's a routine thing.
No.
These kids are absolutely terrified.
Like this, I don't know why Daddy decided to bring kids to work day on this
one.
No like shit, what? Like why? It doesn't really make any sense.
This is the day.
Like he acts like, let's go, we're gonna go. Like he kind of acts like this is something they've done before.
Right.
But then the kids act like, holy shit,
like,
they've never seen this before.
Their disbelief, shock is on their faces.
But yeah, I don't know. It doesn't make much sense. So blackout, roll the opening credits and title card. The credits are played over a montage of newspaper clippings and news reports about this one particular stretch of road that has incredibly high amounts of accidents and deaths on it.
And then also scenes of like an old building and a dirty bathtub. And I've talked about it so many times, that cliche dirty environment, like, oh, look, it's an abandoned building, and look out, there's a centipede. Just that, and then it's like cutting image, like quick editing, like quick. That shit is so played out, Around when I saw it, I'm like, yep, it's gonna be one of those movies. Fuck.
We then jump to modern day where some guy and some girl are driving in a car down the same stretch of road. They're basically, a lot of this I'm going to be really dumbing down because it doesn't fucking matter. The girl ends up mounting the guy while he's driving, so she gets on his lap while they're driving. They start going at it, making out, and you're going to have sex. So of course, this leads to them swerving off the road and crashing the car. So nothing obvious.
I thought I could have swore I saw headlights filling the scene, like, because she's on top of him, she's riding, and all of a sudden it felt like it got brighter in there.
It probably,
I could be wrong.
I'm sure it did, but they still swerve and crash the car.
Yeah, so it gets brighter, and she turns around to look, because she's on top of him.
Yeah.
She turns around to look, and they both go, ah! Yeah. And then you hear,
boom, crash,
you don't
crash,
see it, you just hear, crash. So again, she's on top of this motherfucker.
Exactly. Thank you. That's a big point I'm going to say here. Because after the crash, we see the girl is now back in the passenger seat of the car, which is bullshit because she should be fucking dead on top of this guy.
She should be like split in half.
Yeah, like just gone. But she's somehow on the passenger seat again. The dude seems dead, even though, and my little girl came back down into the studio for like the 4th week in a row. Hi, we got to stop you from coming in here. So hold on, guys. We'll be right back. All right, we're back. Hope you enjoyed that little musical interlude from a little rock and rock from the old Killer Workout episode.
From Killer Workout. That was a great episode. Thank you, Sarah Samples, for filling in.
Yes, that was a wonderful episode.
For a guest appearing on that one.
Before we go on, I meant to say this at the top of the show, but I want to also say, shout out to Ron Moses, he's the Moon Goon who suggested the listener who suggested this to us. So
yeah, he dropped us a line on Facebook, so you can always do that.
Yeah, you have a suggestion, just contact us through email, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. We'll see what we can do about your suggestions.
And we'll let you know if it sucks. Like, nah, we're not doing that. We'll let you know, and we'll let you know why. But this one we did.
Yeah, so back to where we left off. I believe I was calling bullshit on the fact that the girl was in the passenger seat after the crash instead of dead on top of the dude.
Tell me about it.
But the dude seems dead. And so the girl gets out of the car. She calls 911 on her cell phone. And we see her legs all jacked up from the crash. And like almost immediately, like there's a small like fade and then fade back in. And as an ambulance shows up, two men get out. And this is where we're introduced to Bill Moseley and Kane Hodder as the paramedics.
Yeah, and the ambulance pulls up and it has 37.
Yeah. And kind of the first sign that something's wrong about these paramedics is that they're not wearing paramedic uniforms at all. They're wearing like junkyard coveralls and like they look more like mechanics than paramedics.
Yes, they're wearing coveralls that have their like name on like Jimmy.
Yeah, they look more like the blue mechanic coveralls and like the paramedic shirts and uniforms.
But honestly, I'm okay. I'm not horribly upset about it.
Okay,
because at first glance, you're in an accident. You're kind of fucked up. You're like, all
right,
not really thinking straight.
I'll give you that one.
And it's a uniform.
Yeah, it's a uniform.
It's a dark blue. So yes, but for someone who's not, totally fucked up, might be able to be like, whoa, who the fuck are you guys?
And like they're not even they get out of the car. They're not carrying like paramedics tools or a gurney. Kane's carrying like the goddamn jaws of life or something. Like not even
a fucking sledgehammer and like an axe pick.
Yeah, it's like wait a minute, these aren't proper medical paramedic tools. Something's up. So Kane goes to work on the car while Bill Moseley goes up to the girl. She's talking about, can you keep my boyfriend now? Is he gonna be okay? And blah blah blah. Moseley just stands there looking at her, and then like he reaches out like a hand, like gently rubs her cheek and tells her, "Don't worry, I'm a paramedic."
Yeah, same line.
She kind of trips on a rock, stepping back. She falls over. She's like, "Worry about what?" And with that, Moseley pulls out another large fucking sledgehammer. Where this comes from, I have no idea, because unless he pulls out his his magical bag is like a bag of holding or something like that from D&D.
It's kind of like Bruce Lee pulls nunchucks out of his ass.
Suddenly there's a giant sledgehammer there.
Right out of his butthole.
Anyway, he swings at her. She's able to dodge it. She screams into her phone for help. Moseley swings again, causing her to drop the phone. She scrambles away. Moseley steps on the phone, breaking it. The girl runs to the back of the ambulance where she sees Kane shoving pieces of her boyfriend into like a portable like log shredder or something. I don't know what this thing is, but it's like a little portable. When you have to cut logs, shred logs on the go.
It's a grinder.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wood chipper. That's what I'm looking for. Wood chipper.
Wood chipper.
I'm like, I know there's a word for it.
I was at the same time throughout the entire movie. I'm right. I was like, "There's a word for this thing. There's a word for this thing." I couldn't think of it. Yeah, it's like a portable wood chipper.
Fargo. Think of Fargo.
Yeah.
Think of that scene when the guy's getting shoved into the wood chipper. Steve Buscemi is getting stuffed into the wood chipper.
Yeah. And wasn't there one of the Christmas movies we did? They were running through a Christmas tree field and then they ended up in a wood chipper too. I don't remember which one it was.
Oh, might have been one that wasn't on. Christmas time is tough for me.
Yeah. So anyway, I just lost where we were. So the blood and guts of the wood chipper they spray all over her, like just she's covered in blood. Moseley walks up to her and smashes in her face with a sledgehammer, but we don't really see the final result. It cuts away.
Yeah.
We cut to the bedroom of our main girl, Amy. She wakes up from the sounds of cars honking outside. She looks out the window, and now we get our first of many, many, many overuses of the super cool slow motion visual introduction.
While like tweeny rock is playing.
It's shitty rock.
I hope you guys are fans of shows like Riverdale and Orange County or whatever, or Gossip Girl
Hills.
Or The Hills, because it's these long slow motion shots of pretty teens flipping their fucking hair back and forth.
Yeah,
as like shitty millennial rock plays.
It's the music's awful.
It's
so bad. So we get the introduction of the rest of our teenage fodder,
and basically the next 20 minutes is a Riverdale episode.
Yeah, I said you weren't here for the opening, but the opening. This is basically where the movie becomes a MTV teenage soap opera.
Yes,
it's basically a teenage soap opera from here on out until like the last 15-20 minutes, if that.
Good God.
So we get our cool kids and they sit there in their cars or they're slowly put on their motorcycle helmets and aviator sunglasses as they ride their fucking hipster moped. Like, you asshat. The hipster guy.
It's like a Vespa or something.
Whatever.
Someone's got a little dog in that fight. What's going on? Motherfucking Vespa piece of shit.
It's not that I don't know. It's not that I have like any issue against scooters because they're fine for touring around town, I guess, sure. But just the way they try to make this guy look like everybody's in slow motion, Mr. Cool.
He's a little fucktard.
He's a little hipster fucktard trying to look like put his baby blue with white striped helmet on, and he adds like the cool Top Gun aviator sunglasses in slow motion.
Is there a hint of jealousy in there?
As he's just on a goddamn Vespa or moped type thing. It's
is there
there's no jealousy. He's just a fucktard. Right? Come on.
It's pretty good looking.
Get the fuck out of here.
All right.
Anyway, so Amy goes downstairs where we meet her mother. She then goes outside to get the mail, and she has an interaction with Jason and Brooke, who is a super ultra mega bitch of the movie, wearing a blonde wig for some reason. I mean, it's obvious she's wearing a blonde wig. I don't know why she's wearing a blonde wig, but she is. The cool kids all drive away. Amy goes back inside, and she talks to her mother, and they mention Amy's...
she calls her flapjacks, I guess, because she's quote-unquote
very flat-chested.
Flat-chested.
Yeah, very. And they mention Amy's sister, Angel, who I guess is somehow friends with the cool kids or something. We also learned that their father's dead, which doesn't really matter all that much in the movie.
Who is also a paramedic or
a firefighter.
Firefighter?
He was a firefighter.
Yeah, he was some sort of first responder.
He's a firefighter. Also, the mother's lips are so goddamn giant and fake. I mean, she borderlines on having fish mouth. They're huge.
Kind of like it.
We cut to the cool kids being cool kids. They're racing down the death road, as you know, the Death Stretch Highway. They're racing. Cars are side by side. Brooke's riding the paint, which is where one person stands with one foot on each car windowsill. So she's, standing basically on top, out in the open, riding these two cars.
Yeah, one foot's on one car, one foot's on the other car, on the passenger side, driver's side. They're cruising down the road. This is very dangerous.
Very, very dangerous.
This is very dangerous for skinny little fucking high school students to be doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's what they're doing.
Yeah, that's the old man in me. I'm like, ooh, that's dangerous. Plus, I've never heard of anyone doing this before.
No, neither.
This seems like an extreme stunt.
Yeah, this is
you got to be pretty talented. It's not like something like anybody can do.
No.
This seems like it's such
you need professional drivers.
Correct. And someone who's got such incredible balance to withstand all the wind that's coming at you, to be able to hold your balance. And they're wearing fucking heels while they're doing this.
I will say Brooke is barefoot doing it. She's not wearing it, but she's wearing a dress that's flapping in the wind. That's not aerodynamic.
All that drag and everything.
And
there's so many elements that go into this stunt.
It's so bullshit. Yeah, it's completely bullshit. I mean, we ran a pretty ruckus crowd in high school, but we never did bullshit like this. We're like, no, we'll just drink and be rowdy. We're not doing dumbass shit like that.
Although I do remember you jumping on the hood of our friend's Honda Accord. Jenny Bates,
friend
of the show, one of our first episodes. You were just fooling around, jumped on the top of her car, like, yay! Yeah. And she's like, all right.
Yeah, she did do that. Drove right down B Street with me on the hood of her car.
Half a mile.
Yep, with me stuck on the hood of her car. That I'm sorry, but Jimmy, that was a bitch move, man. I was like, fuck you.
And then he finally stopped, and you finally got off, and they just left
They left me there. Yep, they fucking left me there.
You had to walk a half a mile back to your car.
Yep. It was right outside your house, too.
I remember, because I remember I was getting dropped off, and I just hear you goofing off on the car, and I'm like, what the fuck's going on? I turn around, and I just see you going, hey, and zoom, there she goes. I'm like, oh shit. There's nothing I can do.
Nope. Yep. So that fucking happened, and so anyway. So the kids are hooping and hollering like idiots, and the hipster douchebag is filming all this from his moped scooter behind him. I don't understand. Why is he? There's no explanation.
Calling it a moped. It's a scooter. It's a
moped's basically a scooter.
Yeah, but there's no pedals.
All right, sorry. It's a scooter.
Yes. You correct me on so much shit.
You're right. Let
me have this win.
You get this win.
Booyah.
Okay.
All right.
But for some reason, they don't really explain why, but this douchebag is films everything. He has a little camcorder around and films everything.
Yeah.
I don't get it. There's no reason why. Never say, oh, he's a film shooter or he's doing a video diary. Or he's just there with a fucking camera being an annoying little hipster.
I don't get it either.
I just want I want to smack that camera out of his hand.
Well, here's the thing I don't get is that people don't do that.
No.
No, I mean, people just don't like walk around with cameras and camcorders out filming everything everywhere they go.
Yeah.
And everyone seems like, oh, it's just Jimmy, Johnny, or whatever
the
the fuck his
fucking
name is.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
You know, it's just him and his quirky ways. Because if people were constantly filming everything people were doing all the time, man, I would not be happy.
Yeah. So anyway, Brooke gets back and she's done riding the paint. She gets back in the car, and now the cars start leapfrogging each other. So one speeds up past the other, and they speed. You know, they're leapfrogging down the road.
Feels like an ad for Mustang and Charger.
It really does.
Yeah.
Because
one's driving like a green Charger, the other's wearing
black
like
Mustang.
a black Mustang,
Yeah.
which was already a black Mustang, which we didn't mention. That scene where they got in a car accident before, that was also a black Mustang. So I feel like they just recycled the car, which they probably did.
They probably did. Which you just contradict yourself because you said it was an SUV, but it was
No. The very first accident from 1977, that was an SUV.
Oh yeah. You were one of the teenagers. Yeah, you're right. That was a black Mustang too. That was that was the second black Mustang. Anyway, so Angel decides she wants to ride the paint, and she's like, "Yeah, I want to do
that."
And so she does.
Famous last words.
Yeah, and so this pisses Brooke off, who doesn't want to be upstaged or outdone by Angel. So Brooke starts rubbing Jason's shoulders from the back.
Yeah, so
his neck.
This fucking Angel's like, I want to do it. She climbs up. She's got her fucking feet on each
like a
car.
goddamn sundress too. Like
and of course she's
flapping around in the wind.
Perfectly. Woo! This is so much fun. You know, like just nailing it.
Yeah.
And then Brooklyn gets all whatever her fucking name
just
is.
Brooke. Yeah.
Brooke gets all jealous and starts like seducing the guy driving the Mustang,
Jason,
like kissing his ears and rubbing his pecs and like, ooh, baby, let's fuck. And it's like, hey, stop it, cut it out. I'm driving with like, we're doing a fucking stunt.
Yeah.
And it's like, what a bitch. Like,
yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Real bitch. But this, of course, her feminine wiles are too much to handle because this causes him to lose focus, and he swerves a bit too far away from the other car. Angel falls off the cars, cracking her head on the pavement. Her body takes several rolls down the road. The kids come to a screeching halt. They get out there freaking out.
There's like a blood smear on the pavement.
Yeah, the hipster calls 911. The ambulance drives up, takes the kids, as the kids just stand around trying to figure out what to tell the authorities.
Yeah. And it's like you see the ambulance pulling up, and it's like,
but then it's just regular paramedics in regular paramedic uniforms, like
jackets and hats that say EMT.
The white shirt, So, Detective Higgins also shows up. This is where we meet him, and they tell him, "Oh, it was just an accident. It was just an accident, no big deal." And basically, everybody moves on, and so that's that.
Yeah, they skirt the issue that they were assholes doing.
I do like the comment, like how do you some one of the kids makes it. How do you explain it's an accident? Like, what people how she just falls out of the moving car? Like what are you gonna say? But they do. Like,
then they cut to the cop going, so she just fell out of the car.
Yeah, and it's like okay,
which was kind of funny.
And we move forward in time, and we go to the local high school where they have holding up a memorial assembly for Angel. All the kids are there. The principal is giving a speech. Higgins is also there, and he gives a small talk about reckless driving in the middle of this, which was okay.
It's like a weird PSA.
Yeah, like that's odd.
It felt like
I get it's a memorial, but I don't think that would somebody like I could see a school doing that, but not like you wouldn't do it during the memorial. It'd be like have the memorial, and then like the next day or two, you would have we need to have a talk about.
I rarely side with teenagers because I'm an old fart who's angry at the world. But at this time, I'd be like. I would be rolling my eyes too if I was one of those teenagers, like, ugh, boo, get off the stage. It's like such an old man thing to say. Cars are not a toy.
Yeah, cars. That's exactly what he says. Cars are not a toy.
Fuck off.
I just disagree with the timing of it. Like, I don't think it'd be held during the memorial. But after memorial, Higgins talks with Amy and their mother out in the parking lot. Nothing fucking matters. Back at the house, Amy sits at her laptop crying. But she quickly forgets all about her dead sister once Jason pops up on the IM.
Social media.
And they talk via IM, and she mentions how her mom goes out on more dates than she does. And then sly, smooth Jason responds saying, "Oh, I find that hard to believe.
Not with your winning personality and pretty smile."
Yeah, and any tears Amy was crying for her recently dead sister have dried up because all the moisture went straight to her pants on this one. And she's just splooshing hard right now. Which, again, I'm like, bullshit. Like, she's mourning. Like, This is apparently the day of or day after her sister's death, by the way.
She's literally looking at a Facebook social media page of her dead sister.
Yeah.
And everyone's saying, "Gone too soon, R.I.P., we miss you, Angel." And she's crying, and then all of a sudden she's like, "I am's sploosh."
Sploosh, Jason.
Yeah, sliding them DMs.
Totally forgets about her dead sister. So we jump to Higgins at the police station. He's talking to some other cop about missing kids from the opening scene and how the mom has been up his dick hole like a kangaroo. And I'm like, what the fuck does that mean?
That's a horrible, term to use. Up my dick hole like a kangaroo?
But I'm first of all, I'm pretty sure kangaroos aren't burrowing animals or known for forcing away up people's dick holes.
Wouldn't you say jumping on my dick like a kangaroo?
That would
make a lot of sense.
That would make more sense, but I don't understand that at all.
Up my dick like a burrowing worm.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's something it's almost like it's almost like there's more to that metaphor, and he just forgot to say it. Jumping on my dick like a kangaroo, jumping on, like a kangaroo on a something else. Or there should be more to that metaphor, but he's she's jump on my dick like a kangaroo.
Jumping on my dick like a kangaroo makes sense.
That makes more sense, but not.
But up my dick.
She's up my dick hole like a kangaroo. I'm like, what the? Maybe the best line in the movie, at least the most memorable, but makes zero. I don't know what the fuck it means.
His partner kind of looked at him and goes, I guess that hurts. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't at all. So now we go to Amy and her mom sitting on a beachside bench having a nice chat about mom's new boyfriend.
Yeah, and this is okay. So this is something I want to bring back. All right,
okay.
So they're on an ocean. It looks like an ocean to me. I mean,
I thought it was an ocean too. We see it a few more times.
It's a long pier. I'm assuming it's an ocean.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's a gigantic lake, right? I doubt it, but I feel like it feels like the ocean.
Yeah, I agree. I'm team ocean on this one too.
So when they had the going back to the accident where Angel's dead and the police show up and the ambulance is there and they're loading the car, you can hear there's commotion. You can hear them come talking. It's like, why did it take so long? They go, there's just one ambulance working 300 square miles. They said, well, it took us, why did it take you guys so long? Well, we only have one ambulance operating in 300 square miles of here. 300 square miles. 300 fucking square miles. It's pretty fucking gigantic.
Yeah, that would. The point is, I mean, they should be more all like fucking Wyoming or Montana, some giant
North Dakota,
big forested area, rural area or something.
I'm looking at Google Maps during this because it started to piss me off.
But you're right. If there's a beach there would definitely mean there's going to be a lot of
oceanfront property, near the ocean, so close to the ocean that you obviously just can drive there and hang out by the ocean.
Yeah,
there's going to be a plethora of people.
Oh yeah,
especially over 300 fucking miles.
Yeah, that's a great. I missed that line, but that's a great point too. That doesn't add up either. And my next point is goddamn, the mother's lips in this scene are so fucking big. It's distracting to me. Like it looks like she's got two beached whales on her face. They are fucking huge.
You got them DSLs, baby.
Dude, not even that, man. I'd be scared to put my dick next to those lips. They're so just. I can't do it. I can't do it on podcast, but yeah, they're scary looking. It's not right. It looks like there's something wrong with her.
I kind of like them. Sorry.
So
just want those beast on lips.
So we cut back to them now. Amy and Mom back at their house, still talking away, chatting at the kitchen table. Amy drops this, tells her mom that she wants a boob job now.
This is all. They seem to just completely forget about Angel.
Yeah,
fun.
Exactly. The dead sister's already forgotten about.
I want new tits.
I want new tits. Yeah, now you have to pay for Angel's college. I want new tits or something like that.
Oh, that would have been a sweet line. That would have been a sweet line. Mom, you know what made me feel better? New titties.
Yeah. You'd help me up more and make me feel.
I know Angel ain't gonna be using that bank account. Let's get that money, get these titties.
I'll always remember my sister every time I are fondled by somebody else. Every time my boobs get fondled, I'll think of Angel.
I was an A student. I want to go to a C.
Fuck that. She's going to a D. I don't know. But, yeah. But, yeah, that's another great point. It's such a weird thing to, drop out of nowhere. And the fact that, again, they just completely forget about the fact that their sister just died, and none of them seem to even care anymore. They brushed over it. So anyway, the boob talk gets interrupted by Detective Higgins, who shows up to ask Amy questions about the missing Jordan kid, who's the kid who died in the second, technically.
The other Mustang accident.
Yeah, the other Mustang. We cut to Brooke lying on her bed naked, Skyping with Jason.
It's nice.
Yeah, it's nice. She's got great ass, but nice, but you never see any tits. There's no tits in this movie at all.
I know.
They argue over something. She hangs up on him, and I just said it's a waste scene because you don't get to see boob or anything. It's just basically another chance to show Brooke being bitchy and self-centered.
Yeah, and it's a tease because I'm like, roll over. Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, so Mom and Amy are now going to the doctors who scheduled the titty enhancement surgery. That's it. And we go back to Brooke.
She has an appointment with the doctor, and they show it.
Yeah, like, here's your doctor appointment. We go to Brooke and her friend doing some kickboxing workout in slow motion.
As more
crappy
like, millennial rock plays.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
and it's just like, I thought the same thing. Like, Jesus, yes, Brooke has great abs. Like, dude, great bodies, but Jesus Christ.
What am I watching?
Yeah.
What am I watching? What am I watching so far?
Like I said, it's a fucking teenage soap opera, man.
Like the very beginning, you see Kane, Hodder, and Bill Moseley kill motherfuckers, right? And put a guy in a wood chipper.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay, we're starting off, and then nope. Then we cut to just teen drama.
Yeah. First 5 minutes, okay, and then like I said, in the next 50 minutes, it's just all teenage bullshit.
Teen drama.
So once the slow motion ends, they talk about Brooke's upcoming party. Which we skip straight to the party. So, hey, how about the party? Well, we skip straight to the party.
Hey, I want to have a party.
More shitty music playing.
And then turns.
And
they go to the house.
Oh, yeah, Amy.
The fucking band.
Oh, my God. Amy shows up, meets Jason outside as Jason pulls up. He invites her to come with him, and they walk up the front stairs through the front door in slow motion.
Yeah.
And then they walk through the house in the crowd in slow motion out to the backyard where some shitty band's playing this shitty music.
Where it's like, I mean, we're talking like it's a full band.
Yeah.
Keyboards, multiple guitars.
Like
guitar players, bass players, a drummer, this is like a 9-10 set band.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people. And they have lighting, and the lights are going, and the lights are flashing, and they're jumping around. Then when they're like da-da-da-da-da, when that big break happens, they throw balloons and confetti in the air.
Okay, I don't remember that part.
Yeah, because I remember I was like, what the fuck? This is a music video. They basically are shooting a music video in the movie.
So yeah, but they do that entire walk through the house. It's in slow motion. Like there's so much goddamn slow motion in this movie. It's ridiculous. Like
and
it's like they just learned about slow motion.
Right.
Like it's the thing. Oh, we gotta use this. It's so cutting edge.
And this is in the burbs. This is in the suburbs.
Yeah, this is suburbs.
And so there's all these kids pulling up. Woo, yeah, woo. And I get maybe if her mom's not home, you have a party, but neighbors don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
No one else gives a fuck.
Yeah.
All these teens are just partying their
running
nuts
amok.
off.
Yeah.
Just having a music video shoot in the backyard while drinking, booze. Yeah.
So all the cool kids are standing around drinking, talking about Jordan, who took taking some hot 15-year-old to some car show or whatever. So we get that Jordan's the one who died, and the girl with him was only 15, and they're like, "Oh, she's only 15." But he's like, "Oh, but did you see her ass on her?" And it's like, "Ah ha 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 ha."
It's about accurate.
Hipster is there. He's continuing to film everything as always. Jason and Amy show up. Brooke goes into mega binary bitch mode. So much so that a few of the cool kids actually walk away. Like, dude, that's too much even for us, and they leave. During Brooke's bitch rant, she says something to Jason about along the lines of, "Don't act like little bitch Angel was your first. Tell me you and Jordan didn't leave that little old lady dead in the woods," or something like that. And now what? We cue flashback number 1.
Did someone just confess a murder?
Yeah, exactly. Jason and Jordan.
Cue flashback number 1. And hold on to your butts, because there's going to be a lot of them.
If you love slow motion and flashbacks, this is the movie for you. Jason and Jordan are recklessly racing their cars down the death road again.
Yes, so it's fucking assholes and fucking Mustangs.
Mustangs, yeah.
Just zooming down
Just
the road.
shows the point that everybody who drives a Mustang is a fucking asshole.
To our listeners driving Mustangs, fuck you.
We see this old lady getting her mail from a roadside mailbox, and she lives out in the middle of fucking nowhere. A gust of wind blows one of her letters out into the road. She goes after it.
Oh, in like the most cliche, like old lady way possible.
Yeah.
Just slowly shuffle,
Like
shuffle,
the little baby shuffle.
shuffle.
Yeah.
Like,
So of course,
old are you?
this is where she gets just wrecked by Jason's car, or Jordan's car. I'm sorry, Jordan's car.
Yeah, the one goes around her, but the other one plows.
Yeah, Jason
into her.
misses her. Jason's car goes around, and Jordan just plows into the old lady. Jordan, his girl, whoever it is at the time, Jason, and Brooke, who's back wearing the blonde wig again, because Brooke normally has like dark brown, almost black hair the rest of the movie, but she's wearing a blonde wig again. All get out of their respective cars, stand over the dead woman's body. They're freaking out, trying to figure out what to do. So basically, they just come up, let's just scatter and leave her there, and they drive off.
Fuck her. Let's
go.
go.
I know what you did last summer.
Yes.
Yeah, let's just leave her there and leave. The old hit and run.
I never saw I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Wow.
I
You should at least watch the first one's at least solid. It was okay.
And it has Jennifer Love Hewitt and those titties.
God, I was so in love with her at that time. Those titties, and Sarah Michelle Gellar's in it. And
I think you had a poster.
I had it all. I Know What You Did Last.
Room?
Yeah, I had the movie poster for I Know What You Did Last Summer in my dorm room, and it was so great because it was so big, and Jennifer's tits were just so huge on that, and they're like right there. Like, yep, Jennifer Love Hewitt's tits.
But in that movie, in I Know What You Did Last Summer, did they leave the body in the road, or did they take it and dump it?
You know what? It's been so long. I don't think they left it in the road. I think they may have moved it off the road or dumped it like over a ledge.
Yeah, because they just left her in the road.
Yeah, they just left her in the road. Yeah, so they get back in the cars and they're off. They drive off.
That was the flashback.
As they drive off in slow motion, they pass this beat up truck sitting at like a stop sign at an intersection. And in the truck we see are Moseley and Kane, who watches the kids drive away in slow motion. And the camera, like, really at this point focuses on Brooke in her blonde wig.
And her blonde hair flowing in the wind.
Yeah. So we go back to the present. Amy leaves Jason in shock and disgust about it. Oh my God, how could you do this?
Yeah, and rightfully so. He kind of looks at Brooke like, the fuck? It was like, what the fuck was that about? She's like, what?
What?
What? And he goes, first of all, you're going to get us fucking arrested. You just confessed to a crime, to a fucking manslaughter.
Yeah. Jason calls Brooke a bitch and then lays into her, like Aaron just like lays into her bed. And then he goes after Amy.
Okay.
We cut to cool guy number 2, who is the guy in the Charger. Cool guy number 2. And I think Brooke's friend Rachel, I think it is, they're making out in the backseat of this guy's. He's now driving like an SUV.
Yeah.
So maybe it's Rachel's SUV, but they're in back in an SUV.
It's an Escalade.
Okay. Of course, the girl starts hearing noises from outside. So the girl, and then she's like, whatever, and she's like, I'm hot. So they roll down the windows.
Bitch, that's your cue to take off your clothes.
Yeah.
You say I'm hot while you're making out, that's when you get naked.
Yeah, that is right.
Unfortunately, guess who gets naked? The dude.
As soon as she rolls down the window, she gets grabbed and pulled out the window by Kane.
Very quickly, very nice, quick.
Yeah. Moseley attacks the guy through the other window, but he's able to like stab Moseley with something. I don't know what the fuck he stabs him with.
Like that was a quick shot too. It was
like, what the hell did you stab with? Like, you're making out like almost half naked, making out the girl. Where the fuck did you get like a sharp object to stab somebody with?
It had a handle. And it was a quick. It wasn't like a pen. Or
no,
something like,
I don't know what it was.
Like it was like a knife. It was a small knife.
Yeah, where he gets it, I don't know. But he stabs Moseley within the arm. He's able to wiggle free. Now, this was weird, I thought. Instead of opening the door to get out to go after Rachel, Cool Dude 2 decides to try to climb through the window, which would be incredibly awkward and much more time-consuming than just flowing the door open and hopping out. Or why would you go through the window? Like, that's fucking retarded. That is mentally challenged.
Well, I had a problem with this too, because being a scumbag, myself, my scumbag move, my scumbag like sensor, like my scumbag sense.
I was about to say scumbag sense. Yes.
Would be going off. It's like, fuck that bitch. She's gone. She got drug off by those killers. I'm in the car. I'm going to just get into the front seat and drive away. Why the fuck doesn't he do that?
Wow. All right. Well, yeah, he doesn't do that. But pretty much as soon as this guy sticks his head through the window, he gets got by Kane, who has some kind of like powered makeshift weapon. And Cool Guy gets like this large circular blade in the base of his neck, of his shoulder,
it's like
collarbone.
the jaws of life that cut through the cuts through
No,
cars and stuff,
Jaws
right?
of Life are like
But
these
I mean,
big
it's- but
giant
it's-
pliers. This is like a large circular saw blade on the end of a stick that somehow has power going to it.
It's
It looks like what to me, like I used to have one. I worked with them. It looks like I've seen weed whackers that have like these like long pole, and
Does
then
that go back to Jason 7, Friday 13th Part 7, when he had that? Remember when he had that long fucking weed whacker thing with the blade on the end?
Yeah.
Of it? That was also Kane Hodder's first Friday 13th to make a callback. You remember that? And he killed the gal's mom with that one.
Yeah, I mean, kind of like that. I mean, it was like a circular blade on the end of like a stick, but somehow it was electric. It powered it. It dug into this guy's
Anyway,
neck.
he's fucking dead. He
He's
should have
dead.
gotten in the car and driven away like
Yeah.
a real man or a real scumbag, proper scumbag. Instead of trying to help, dude, be a proper scumbag.
Blackout time passes. Hipster rolls up to the SUV on his Vespa scooter. Everything. So that this fucking asshat is driving down the road while he's driving and filming at the same time. These kids are just awful, horrible drivers. Like they shouldn't. No wonder they're killing people and hitting people on the road.
No wonder this road is full of death.
It's not Kane Hodder and Bill Moseley. It's these fucking kids.
You give a bunch of 70-year-olds muscle cars they can't handle.
Jesus.
And cameras while they're driving their Vespas.
So anyway, yeah. So Hipster finds a blood trail that leads him to Cool Guy 2's bloody skull cap. Hearing some noise.
And it's all night vision.
Yeah,
and
it's
like
all night
it's almost
vision.
like found footage cut to real film.
Yeah.
And I'm like, please God, just stop filming in night vision. Just and this scene goes on way too long.
It does. He hears noises and he races off to see what it is, and he eventually ends up at a junkyard. But we cut to Moseley in a large like metal work shed. It's one of those like curved ones. It almost looks like an old like airplane hangar. But he's pouring
like sheet metal.
And he's pouring like all I could call is I guess turpentine or something on his open wound.
It's lye. It even says
It
grabs
says
a canner.
It says
No, it's
CYE.
LYE, lye.
It says C.
No, it's lye.
All right. I swear it says C, but all right. I thought
Lye causes burns.
I know it causes burns, but
I'm like, why the fuck is he pouring lye in his arm?
I thought, yeah. But anyway, this triggers another flashback. So here we go again. We go back to 1977, where young Moseley is crying on the floor with a bleeding cut or wound or something. The father yells at him for being a pussy or something like that. Then he grabs a metal can of whatever. I guess it's more lye. I thought it, whatever. And it's the same can that we see Moseley pour on himself. The father pours on the kid's wound. Young Moseley screams in pain. The mother comes in, takes the can away from the father, and comforts young Moseley. And this is where we see the mother was the old lady that got destroyed by Jordan's car in the other flashback.
The old lady that got hit by the car in flashback number 2?
2? No, that was number 1. This is number 2.
Is the old lady this is Mama of Kane and Bill Moseley.
Yes. So we go back to the present. Hipster's using his cell phone to somehow track down Cool Guy's 2 phone, which I don't even know how that's even possible.
Well, it is. It is.
Really? Because I mean, I don't think I can I can't type Aaron into my GPS and it's going to take me to your location. No. Your house, your work, yes,
sure.
a program, but not wherever you currently are.
Yeah, you can.
How?
Yeah, it's simple. It's called dropping a pin. I have to get permission from you. So if I text you or pull you up, it's like I do with Melissa all the time. It's like, where are you at? I can type in Melissa's name, boom, it'll tell me her location.
But wouldn't Melissa have to be alive in order to let you do that?
No, just her phone has to be on.
But you said you have to give permission.
Yeah. Yeah, no, not every single time.
Oh, okay, all right.
I mean, it's not like every single time do I need permission to find out where you are. No.
Okay, well,
if you're bosom buddies, like these guys are, they must rub their genitals together.
I guess so.
And I really want to know where Brian is.
All right, well, I recant my argument there because I was like, what the fuck is this weird shit? But it's just, wow, technology. Wildness. Anyway,
Wild
so fucking.
2013
So he uses his cell phone to track down Cool Guy 2. Hipster enters the junkyard and he somehow manages to find Jordan's car right away. Like we see the junkyard and there's like hundreds, if not thousands, of cars in here. And Hipster just walks right in and walks right up to the car.
Now it's not going to be like boop, 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 boop. It's not going to do that.
Yeah, right.
It's going to give you a general vicinity of where they're at.
Right.
It's not. You're not going to walk right up to his car and be like, "Oh, here it is."
But that's
Thanks,
basically
phone.
what what happens.
That's
here.
not going to happen. It's going to basically give you a vicinity. You know.
Of course, Hipster's still filming this entire time. He's filming everything. He opens the trunk and finds Cool Guy 2 and Rachel's dead bodies in the back of the car.
Yeah, his naked body and her fully clothed body.
Yep.
Bummer.
Kane comes up behind him, smashes the trunk that down Hipster's back, which apparently is enough to kill the Hipster.
Well, yeah, which is apparently enough to shatter him to pieces.
Yeah.
He throws him in the back of the car, and I'm like, oh, he's gonna get to him later.
Yeah,
this
I thought the same thing too. Like
he's making leftovers.
Yeah.
This is something for later. He's gonna nibble on later, right?
Yeah.
Nope. Never
seen
this little fucker again. I'm like, wow, fucking lame is that?
Yeah, the lamest.
Worst kill. Like, that's a lazy bullshit kill.
Yeah, it is. It's like just smash him with the trunk of
I'm
the
like,
hood.
really?
Like what?
I don't care how strong you are. If you slammed a hood on my back, I'd be like, I'd scream. I'd be painful, and there's no way it's gonna kill you.
Even if by some chance it breaks his spine, like it breaks his back or something like that, he still wouldn't be dead. It's not like he's breaking his neck or just taking his head. So I guess he just leaves him into the rot.
It was just like thump.
Yeah.
He was like, ugh.
Yeah, it's the worst.
It's instant kill.
It's fucking awful, just awful. The next morning, Higgins shows up at the junkyard for some unknown reason. I'll just go to the junkyard. He's wanting to look around.
There's
no connection. There's no
clue. There's nothing that's like.
There's no connected dots.
There's no tip. There's no clue. There's no connected dots.
Exactly. So he's met by Moseley, who lets him in. They talk as they walk to the junkyard. Seeing the ambulance, Higgins asks Moseley if they run an ambulance company out of here as well. And Moseley says, "Oh, my old man used to. He was a medic in the war and must have missed the smell of blood," which is an odd thing to say, especially if you're not trying to convince somebody you're not a murderer. And even Higgins is like, "Well, that's weird."
Yeah.
But so now we get another flashback. This is number 3, I believe, and we go back to the opening scene of the father licking the girl's blood off his fingers.
Yes, this flashback. What the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, only this time we see the rest of the scene as the father's licking the blood off his fingers.
As he's finger banging the wound and licking the juices off his fingers.
Some random cop pops up, catches the father in the act doing this. And
he looks like a state trooper. He's got the wide brim hat.
Yeah.
And like the brown hat. He's got a brown outfit, and he's like, "What the fuck did you do?"
Yeah, we do. And the father just replies, "I'm a paramedic," and asks me. He doesn't say, "Oh, I'm like,
don't worry, I'm a paramedic."
No, he just says, "I'm a paramedic." He like yells at him.
As blood's falling off his mouth.
To which the cop says, "Not anymore, you're not," and then just hits the father right in the face with his
fucking brains him
with his nightstick. As the kids continue to watch from the ambulance front
I'm just
seat.
like, okay, he got arrested.
Yeah,
he got
exactly.
caught.
I thought the same thing. Like, okay, he got caught. He's arrested.
The police officer saw him cannibalizing a victim.
Yes.
Basically.
Exactly.
Sees this and is like, what the fuck? Brains him with a nightstick, and he probably got arrested.
You would think so.
Right.
You would think.
That's what I thought.
Or, yeah, he's in jail. He's done. Or maybe even dead after getting hit in the face with a fucking nightstick.
Dude, because there was very little conversation.
No.
It was, what are you doing? I'm a paramedic. Not anymore. Smack. And that's the scene.
That is the scene. And we go back to the present. The junkyard tour ends by Jordan's car, of course, which has blood leaking out of the trunk. But Moseley's able to turn Higgins around so he doesn't see it. Kane shows up. Moseley makes Kane do a fucking chicken dance for Higgins, which is just fucking weird.
Worst chicken dance ever.
It's
worst chicken dance ever. Come on, Kane Hodder. I know you're a stuntman and you're not a true actor, but fuck! Flap your goddamn arms! He's supposed to do a chicken dance. He's just going, burk, burk, burk. Just like moving his head back and forth. Flap your fucking arms.
Yeah.
It's so easy.
But
it's the most easy, stupid dance you can do. Everyone knows what a chicken dance is.
Yes, but also it's just so weird. Like, of all things, like, why would you make Kane do a chicken dance? Like,
well, it was.
What's this? It's just dumb. It's like, what?
Nobody here but us chickens.
So, also, we haven't mentioned this by now. We should mention it by now. The whole movie, except for in the flashbacks when they're kids, Kane wears like a partial face mask, very like Bane-esque throughout this entire movie.
But it's like a surgical mask.
It changes. Sometimes
like,
it looks like a carpenter's gas mask or ventilation mask. Other times it's like a white surgical mask. Other times it's like almost like a
brown
dirty,
like
leather
cloth, or leathery type.
Yeah, it's always changing, but he always wears something over the lower half of his face.
Yeah, so his nose and mouth are always covered.
Yes. Anyway, after the chicken dance, Higgins leaves, none the wiser, gone.
Worst chicken dance.
And just a horrible scene. Like, it was pointless. And this takes us to another fucking flashback, which even though we just had one, this is one where we see young Moseley disfigure and permanently maim young brother Kane by breaking his nose with vice grips and then taking a hammer with a hammer and chisel.
Yeah. Well, he says... He's, monkey see, monkey do. He goes, he's imitating his father.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'm a paramedic, as he smashes his teeth out.
And then we see young Moseley getting hauled away by police as young Kane Hodder is wheeled into an ambulance while the mom's in the background crying.
Well, the mom's in the background crying, and the dad's there freaking out. He's jumping up and down like, what are you doing taking my boys away?
Exactly. Thank you. I'm like, what the fuck? Father should be in fucking jail.
So I'm like, okay, maybe this happened before, but that
no, because when the
kid's teeth are fine. So it's like, the flashback the continuity of the flashback was very confusing.
Well, I thought this was because every time you see Kane in the flashback, he's fine until this
scene.
So when the father gets jacked by the cop, it's before this. So
one would think, and at this point, I'm like, well, maybe it was a mistake, whatever.
I don't know,
but it gets worse. It gets worse, Moon Goons.
The father should be fucking in prison, but he's not. We go back to the present. Amy and Mom sit at the table talking about the missing kids, her boob surgery, which is tomorrow, and some other boring bullshit. Night falls. We cut to Brooke driving down the death road, talking on her cell phone. She drops her phone as another car comes up behind her, blaring its horn. The car passes, and we just see it's more car full of partying. More teenagers partying.
Teenagers flashing their titties.
The kids in this county are just horrible people, I guess. Like,
just reckless psychopaths.
Yeah.
They got a need for speed.
There's a serious issue with the kids in this county. Like, there's something wrong here.
They've seen Top Gun too many times.
Like, who is giving these kids license? Like, well, how are they getting their driver's license? I don't get it.
Like, they just grow up on Gone in 60 Seconds. Yeah. That's all they do.
Fast and the Furious and Gone in 60 Seconds. That's all they watch.
That's all they watch. Just tearing ass and Chargers and Mustangs. All of them. No one has a fucking Corolla.
Nobody has like an old beater car. They're like brand new muscle cars or fucking like Escalades or.
And just tearing ass. Just driving so fast. God damn it. Fuck these kids.
Brooke starts reaching for her phone, but of course this causes her to make a hard 90-degree turn for no reason, just right into a tree.
Losing control of her car.
She can't she's completely unable to reach over and grab her phone from the driver's seat, and it just without turning and smashing into a tree. Like, it's so bad. It's so bad. It's like, come on.
It's like they're looking for an excuse to crash on this road again. You just had one, and they drove away. So instead, you're just going to have her lose control of the car for something she could easily... There's no one else on the road.
No, you can just stop your car.
This is a very rural road. We haven't really described it. It's in the forest. Or
heavily wooded area. Very
rural. Fucking pull over, grab your goddamn phone. But of course, they got to give her a reason to crash them.
Yeah. Like, oh my God, I got to get my phone.
Crashes her fucking car.
Blackout. It fades to black. We fade back in on Brooke's car smashed against a tree. Some random old guy walks up to the car looking for help. This random old guy turns out to be played by none other than horrible horror Hall of Famer Lloyd motherfucking Kaufman.
Lloyd motherfucking Kaufman.
He makes a nice little cameo.
Sorry.
No, I liked it. Kaufman pulls out his cell phone to call for help.
Y'all ready for Lloyd? Sorry.
He calls her up. We cut to Brooke now strapped onto a gurney being loaded into Moseley and Kane's ambulance. Kaufman comments on how fast the paramedics got there and then gets back in his car and he leaves.
I was so bummed. It's like, oh, Lloyd Kaufman. Here comes a little comic relief. Here's the comic relief because this movie needs it.
Yeah, there's none in this movie.
We need a break in the fucking monotony of, teen drama and bad horror.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, Lloyd Kaufman, thank fucking God. Here we go. And Nope. He plays it pretty fucking straight.
He plays this straighter than he does a friggin' medical surgeon in Death House.
Yeah.
That's when he should have been serious. This should have been the comedy role, and they're flip-flopped. Anyway, so Kaufman, he's back in his car. He's gone. Brooke starts to come to. She mumbles something about calling her parents. Moseley says, "Don't worry, we'll kill your parents." Hearing this gives Brooke pause because she's a little groggy. Then Moseley comes back and says, "Don't worry, we'll call your parents," and gives Brooke like this creepy smile. Brooke senses something's wrong and tries to get up off the gurney, but finds that she's like cuffed and chained to the gurney.
Chained to the gurney, so she can't get away. Yeah. She screams.
And she's loaded up into the back of the ambulance, and that's it. We cut then to Brooke strapped to like a workbench in like the metal work shed. Moseley and Kane enter in choppy slow motion as the same fucking butt rock theme song plays. It's awful. It's not even that. It's not that. It's like this weird. It's like that millennial butt rock music. It's so now the film starts going back and forth between Brooke on the workbench and Amy in the surgical room getting her boob job done.
So they're doing this like juxtaposition of cutting to her being tortured and like Amy getting new titties.
Yeah. And all of it is in slow fucking motion.
All in slow motion, all while like butt rock is playing.
Yeah. Brooke does try to make tries to make an escape but fails. Moseley gets fed up and pull.
It looked like she pulled an
IV. Yeah, like they have an IV now. Like why?
Do they have her sedated? Are they what kind of fluids are they giving her?
I thought so. Yeah, I thought it was very yellow looking.
It's like I'm trying to think of like, are they trying to revive her to be tortured?
Yeah, I thought the same thing. Like I don't know what the point of the IV was. Why does she have a fucking IV? Because we never see it used on anyone ever else in this movie. Like to give any kind of context of why she'd have an IV in her. Because she's not like she's on death's door. She was just unconscious. Like there's nothing.
Yeah, she screamed and yelled as she was taken away. So she's pretty with it.
Yeah, so it's like I don't understand the point of the IV either at all.
But she pulls the IV out of her arm,
stabs the Moseley in the eye,
like right underneath the eye,
something like that. But Kane just grabs her and slams her back down to the table. Moseley then pours gasoline all over Brooke.
She basically waterboards her with gasoline.
Meanwhile, now Amy is now done with her boob job, and she is now getting a makeover at a salon. Moseley lights a match, sets Brooks on fire. Fade to black. Fade in on more fucking slow motion shot of the new and improved Amy exiting the salon, looking all hortastic.
New titties, new hair.
She's dyed her hair blonde. She's wearing high heels and a short mini dress that shows off her new titties. The mother's behind her and gives her this huge hug saying, "How beautiful you are now.
You're going to get so laid."
Which is a great fucking message to send to women, by the way. Like, this is, what the fuck is happening?
This is what you needed.
A mom.
New tits and ass. Well, the mom obviously is a customer of enhancement, considering her lips look like two fucking bass fish slapped together.
That is true. But it's like, Jesus Christ. There's so much wrong with this whole sequence of events. There's so much wrong.
Are you going to get on a soapbox and talk about how women shouldn't have to be feeling the pressures of society and have alterations?
Oh, no, I'm 100% for boob jobs. Power to the titty. Power to the titties. No, I know.
I was like, all right, it's going down a weird road, baby.
No, that's not it. I do think it's kind of messed up that the mom would like just, I mean, I get like you want your daughter to be happy, but it's like,
yeah, and it's too young.
It's too young. It's like,
even 18, 19,
it's like,
20.
Let her kind of.
I don't think you should be doing any of those type of alterations until you're like well into your mid-20s.
Yeah, get through college and
be comfortable with yourself first.
Yeah.
And if you really feel like you need an enhancement in any area,
nobody's really comfortable with themselves in high school. Nobody.
I wasn't really. Not until like your mid-20s, basically.
Yeah,
and then it's like you kind of figure like, okay, I know who I am. And then I feel like I need bigger titties. Great, go for it.
Yeah, I agree. That's exactly 100% agree with that. And just like it's just a bad like. I can't get over the fact that, again, the sister just died. Like, it's been less than a week, really, since her sister's death. And they're all, like, moved on. Here's some new titties. Here's all this. Fuck your sister. Who cares?
Party.
Also, the fact that bothers me about it is there's no fucking way that Amy would be out and about that immediately after surgery. Like, I've seen enough nip tuck to know that like after the tit job, like you have there's a downtime. Like you're
on the shelf for about 2 weeks.
Yeah, on the shelf 2 weeks, and not only that, your tits, like your chest, they're wrapped in gauze and bandage, and you're all bound up. And she's like goes from the surgery table straight to a fucking salon to get a makeover, hair dyed, titties are all showing off, they're all falling out of her dress. It's like, what? No, like this. None of this would happen. None of this is correct at all.
I love how you just go, what? You have like a deeper voice and then, what?
So,
but I get I'm right there with you.
It's just so anyway. Amy gets a call then on the sidewalk from Jason, who for some reason now has driven his car onto a beach and just leaning against it like he's posing for like a fucking like teen magazine or like a beer commercial or something. He's like, I'm just gonna drive my car onto the beach at sunset and lean on the hood.
Lean on the hood.
Like look cool.
Sprawl on pull my butt cheeks apart, look back at the camera.
Yeah,
that's what I would do.
It's basically like if he was a girl, this would be like a photo shoot from like an 80s music video or like an 80s car poster that everybody had in their rooms in the 80s.
Need some Kenny Loggins by the background. Highway to the danger zone.
So Amy, who last time she saw Jason, ran away in disgust and shock at hearing that he basically murdered a woman or was involved in a manslaughter of this old woman.
Now she gives zero fucks.
Yeah, she goes from being disgusted with him for him leaving a dead woman on the highway to fawning over him and basically agreeing to go out with him like instantly.
Yeah.
Like, so again, what the fuck message is like? What's going on with these people?
It's not like she can see him posing and leaning
so
sexily on his Mustang.
Yes. As the sun sets on the beach. On the fucking beach! Who drives their car up to the waterline of a beach? I mean, it's not right by the water, but I mean, you see, it's practically on the waterline.
Daytona? Like that's all I can think of. Daytona Beach. But this gets her panties wet, and she's like, "Game on,
game on! I got some new titties to let loose.
Take these puppies out for a test drive.
Get them test driven.
I know this dirtbag will be into them."
So later that night, Amy and Mom talk about they both have dates, and they're both talking about their prospective dates. Mom says that her man should be here soon to pick her up. Amy brags about how she has a hot new boyfriend who drives a sweet car, and she's all, life's great. And I'm like, really, boyfriend? That's a bit of a stretch. You haven't even gone on the date yet.
He drives a hot new car. Dead sister. Fuck that girl. Who cares? Hot new car. Hot new boyfriend.
Yay! New titties. Life is great. Yay! Anyway, the doorbell rings, and we're introduced to Mom's boyfriend. Turns out the new boyfriend is Bill Moseley. Who's now wearing an eye patch.
Fucking creepy, dirty, scraggly 5 o'clock shadow, greasy hair, insane muttering psychopath like, Bill Moseley.
I get Moseley being the scraggly, greasy, dirty killer paramedic. That makes sense, but you would think in this part they would clean him up a bit more.
To go on a date with this uppity, high
class, high maintenance.
Very high maintenance type of woman.
They try to pour off as a down to earth mom, kind of cool, but you get goddamn tell that bitch is high maintenance.
Such a shitty illusion.
Yeah,
they tried it so hard, but it's just like you see right through that. You're like, oh, that's a high maintenance bitch.
Yeah.
She's
that's high maintenance in disguise.
She's got Lululemon yoga pants on 24/7, and she's, all she does is drink smoothies. She doesn't fucking eat, I'm sure. She's got a fake titty job, lips out to fucking, the fucking moon. Yeah, she's a high maintenance, like, judgy bitch. Bougie fucking asshole,
But Bill Moseley comes in wearing like this,
like a dirty flannel.
Basically, his entire wardrobe came off like the rack of like a Salvation Army,
like a Goodwill. Yeah.
It's like they're all
everything.
It's bad. It's just bad. Anyway, seeing Amy with her new blonde hair triggers another flashback. I've lost count. I think this is 5. I've lost count.
Maybe it's 4. I don't know.
In Moseley. So Moseley has another flashback. We go back to Moseley and Kane sitting in the old truck at the stop sign, watching as Jason drives away from the murder scene with Brooke in her blonde wig sitting in the passenger seat. Then the flashback replays again. Only this time we see Amy has replaced Brooke with Amy's blonde hair.
With her blonde hair, very similar to Brooke's blonde hair. And they're driving by at such a high speed. You would maybe see a little bit of face, but you would remember this hair.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with him.
I get what they're going for.
There's obviously confusion.
Yeah.
Like he's.
But does that mean like? But this is making it sound like that Brooke and Amy are like the only 2 blonde women in the world. Like you're telling me since that wasn't 77, but in the years or whatever much time has passed between
the mom being run over.
I don't even know how long it could have been. 3 weeks ago, for all we know. They don't really say how long ago the mom was murdered.
Good point.
Yeah, we don't really know. But
teenagers grow quick.
Yeah, but they're the same age, they're driving the same cars.
It can't be that long.
Yeah.
It can only be a matter of months max.
Yeah.
Max.
But you're saying in the whole time he's never seen another blonde person at all? Like, why? Like, oh, blonde, I have to kill every blonde girl I see?
It's obviously got to be a small town considering they only have one ambulance covering 300 square miles.
Well, that's true. Yeah. That is true. It's just weird. And then, like, if this was what they were going for, like, why not just make... Why put Brooke in a blonde? Why is she wearing blonde wigs around?
Just keep her fucking blonde.
Yeah, just have Brooke blonde the whole time. Like, why these wigs? I don't get it. Unless by some weird chance they are legitimately trying to pull off that Brooke was blonde and she's dyed her hair black now. Which, if that's the case, holy shit, did they do a poor job? Because those wigs are super fake and obvious.
I think that was the case.
Because if that's the case, that's really bad.
I think that was the case.
I don't know. Because it's the fakest wigs. They're horrible. Anyway, so we cut to a hospital, and this is where we see Moseley is there. Like the mom is
this is still a flashback.
Still a flashback. Moseley is there, with the mom who's died.
He took the mom to the hospital.
And this is where we find out how
he gets the bad news. He's sitting on the bench crying.
Yeah. But this is where we find out Moseley met Amy's mother at the hospital, because it turns out Amy's mother is a nurse who was there to console Moseley after the mother's, the bad news.
That's another thing I call bullshit on. Any good self-respecting nurse, because I am one, would not date a member of a family member whose patient just died, just a couple months later.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
That's some bullshit, man.
Really? I don't know.
Well,
let's reverse this. Let's reverse this. You're the dude. You're the dude nurse. Come up to console the hot girl who just lost somebody, and you said yourself in the case of the mom, you're those giant DSL lips that you're falling over. You're not saying no. I'm not gonna go after you. Be like, yeah, I can't by heaven. Yeah, it wouldn't hurt to give this a old try. Like,
I mean, it has happened. Patients have gotten together with people like that, but. As a good self-respecting nurse, someone who is upholds,
all right,
kind of a not necessarily Hippocratic oath, but still,
Yeah, I don't think the Hippocratic oath says I won't fuck my patients. I think that just
I won't fuck my patients in the hospital while I'm treating them. Afterwards, game on.
Game on. It's fair game. It just says I'll do no harm, right? That's the whole. I will do no harm. It doesn't say anything about fucking patients.
It's true.
Still,
I was a little like.
No, I agree too. I thought that was really lame. Like, whatever.
It's way okay. My excuse is not as good, but it's way less believable that dirty, scrubby piece of shit, filthy Bill Moseley gets with, fucking, uppity bitch.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
that's way more of a stretch.
Back to the present. Moseley takes the mom's hand and says, "Come on, there's something I want to show you," and leads her off. And that's the last we see. Then we cut away. We cut to Jason and Amy walking through a field now at night for some reason. They're just in a field talking. Why are in the field? I have no fucking idea why they're in the field, but they are.
Who cares?
Who cares? The two of them walk off, and they end up running across an ambulance on the side of a road. They hear noises coming from the ambulance, and they see light coming through the back windows. So like, hey, let's go check it out. Let's see what's going on.
Yeah, it sounds like Bill Moseley swearing like, "You motherfucker!"
Yeah, it does.
Doing his Bill Moseley thing.
But still, like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but like, if I came across, I'd be like, you know what? This is none of my business. I'm just gonna I'm not getting involved in this.
Let's go back to the car and take
those titties for a test. You're on a date. Like, let's focus on your date. Like, and first of all, if something is going on, if there's something bad, you don't want to involve the girl. You put her in any kind of risk or harm. Don't even risk it. Like, you know what?
And
let's get you out of here. This isn't right.
If it's suspicious, you call the fucking cops.
Yeah, you have cell phones. Say, hey, there's something going on here, and then you take the girl and you go away. You get, hey, we're getting out of here. We're not gonna deal with this. Nope. These fuckers like, hey, let's go check it out.
Scooby-Doo it and go check it out.
So of course they get close to it, and the rear doors burst open, and Kane leaps out, grabs it to him, yanks them into the back of the ambulance, and it speeds off.
And the doors just close right behind him.
Automatically close.
It's so slick. It's way too slick and way too easy.
Yeah.
Seamless.
We cut to the ambulance pointing into the junkyard. Somehow Amy manages to get out and make a run for it. I don't know how that she did, but she
squirrels away.
She does. As she runs away, Moseley sticks his head out the driver's window and yells at her, "Let's play Where's Amy's Mommy?" Amy runs, and she does. I will say she does do a smart thing here. She dumps off her jingling metal bracelets that she's wearing. So I'm like, okay, that's something smart. They haven't
seen that before.
Yeah,
good job.
Good job there. Back at the ambulance, Kane is beating the shit out of Jason.
Yeah, it's like a fight scene between Jason and Kane.
Yeah.
Kane is just dominating.
Which is weird that, Kane's fighting Jason. Yeah, but anyway.
You know what? I didn't even make that connection, but you're right. I bet you anything, bet you $1 million they intentionally named the character Jason.
Yeah.
Because, he's going to have a fight scene with Kane.
Kane's going to fight Jason.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jason does get a few hits in, but he's basically ends up getting manhandled by Kane for most of this.
And he gets choked. Seemingly,
we haven't gotten there yet, but
whatever.
Yeah.
It cuts back and forth.
Yeah, there's a lot coming back and forth.
He gets choked.
Moseley starts tracking down Amy while taunting her and accusing her of killing her mother. During the fight with Kane, Jason punches Kane's face mask off, which we've talked about, and we finally get to see how deformed Kane is.
Yeah, it's like he's Kane has been the whole time had this mask on. We kind of see that he was deformed. We didn't get to see the final results, and he gets his mask knocked off. And here's the reveal. Oh my gosh, how horribly disfigured is he going to be? And he's just got a few crooked teeth.
He's basically, his teeth are jacked up. Yeah, I've seen hockey players with worse teeth, or like he's got Mick Foley mouth, but he's totally fine.
He looks fine.
Get that guy to a dentist, and he's back to normal. Like, there's nothing wrong with this dude.
He's gonna go on dates then.
Yeah,
he's fine. He can go on dates now.
I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
This is the big reveal. This is supposed to, they even show they show the mask fall on the ground. Kane looks back, his eyes are very wide,
he's kind of
shadowing his mouth, and he pulls his arm back to kind of show.
And he looks up.
Here's the big reveal, and it's dog shit.
It's the worst. This is like fuck you movie.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Or this is almost a movie saying fuck you audience because
it's like
that's
suckers.
the reveal. He's got some bad teeth. Are you kidding me?
I've seen Brits with worse teeth.
Yes.
Jesus.
God damn. Half the St. Louis Blues have worse teeth than them. I don't know. Most hockey players.
My neighbor's got worse teeth.
Yeah,
than this.
it's the biggest fuck you I've ever seen. It's horrible.
She's got a rotten tooth and all that stuff. Anyway.
Kane gets Jason around the neck with both hands, lifts him up off the ground, chokes him out. Meanwhile, Amy comes across this raised platform it's almost very Children of the Corn-esque. It's like this weird, there's a circle of cars at all kind of you almost like a pyre, you would burn a witch at.
Yes, very
builds
good.
up a slanted area, and then there's a platform, and all the platform is this metal
crucifix almost?
Yeah, it's like a crucifix, this metal cross made of junk metal and all this stuff.
Yeah,
it's on the platform,
piecemeal together. Yeah,
is Amy's dead mother who has been crucified and gutted. Her guts are hanging out.
But it looks like things are pulled out of her stomach in place. Is it her guts?
All I know is we see intestines hanging out, and she's crucified to this junk metal cross.
Crap in there, yeah.
Amy drops to her knees crying. Up comes Moseley, who stabs her in the tit with a piece of jagged metal.
I do love this part because he comes up to her, she looks up, and just real quick, boom.
Yep.
It was just like a quick, but it was right in her fake titty.
Right in the titty. Kane, we go back to Kane, who walks away from Jason. This cues another goddamn flashback. This one's in 1991. The father's beating the shit out of the mom with a belt. Adult Kane and Moseley enter the room. Adult Kane is now wearing the mask at this time. Kane grabs the father, puts him in a sleeper hold, and forces him down into a chair. Moseley grabs a power drill. Moseley says to the father, "While I was away, I read a lot of books. I can give you a trans-orbital lobotomy." With that, Moseley drills into the father's head, seemingly killing the man.
We don't really see it, though.
No, I mean...
you just see him standing there holding the drill going... Ring, and he looks fucking
It does a weird
crazy.
camera thing. The camera... He starts to move...
It looks like he's trying to move
But then
forward.
the camera moves the opposite way as he's... So it does this weird crossing, so it looks like he's kind of drilling into him.
But it's bright enough that you can see he's very far away from drilling him.
It's poorly done.
It was just poor execution, and
so basically, Moseley... This is when he was raised. So I guess while he was in juvie or something like that, he read a lot of books.
And the dad is not in
jail at all.
Not in jail because we saw him get knocked out by the cop.
But we always saw him. Yeah, it's who fucking knows what's going on with these flashbacks anymore.
The dad's a big dude.
Big dude. Yeah, he's a big guy. We go back to Amy running and trying to hide from Moseley while holding her bleeding tit that's leaking blood and silicone.
That's pretty funny.
Amy enters the house calling for help. Inside, she finds a coffin on the living room floor with a glass window on it. Through the window, we see the dead mother all shriveled and decaying. She kind of looks like she's made of chocolate. I mean, it's a very poorly done dead body.
I was thinking of the zombie in Return of the Living Dead that is being put on the gurney to be cremated, but it's talking like this.
I haven't seen that movie in a long time, but I don't remember what it was.
That's a good one.
No, I agree. Yeah,
it's a good movie.
Anyway,
it kind of looks like that.
So yeah, we see a large figure rise up behind Amy in the shadow. She bumps into him as she backs away from the coffin. Turns out it's the lobotomized father who has been chained up to a chair this whole time.
Yeah, so the guy who got her lobotomy back in 91 is still kicking, still shitting, and still like...
He's basically a drooling zombie, but yeah.
because he gets up, he's like...
And there's like just drool coming out of his mouth.
He's not going... He's just like... Hey, what's up? What are you doing? He's had a lobotomy. He's drool... The drool factor is in effect. This motherfucker can drool with the best of them.
Yeah, he can.
He is drooling everywhere. Dude.
Drool game's on point.
The award goes to best drool, this fucking guy. So, yeah, he wins.
Outside, Higgins arrives at the junkyard again. What? Why? How? Nobody called the police. Why is Higgins back at the junkyard? But he is. Doesn't make any sense.
Sure.
I have no fucking idea why he is. He hears Amy screaming for help, though, and he does call for backup before going in. Amy's now back in the junkyard because she's left the house and hiding from Moseley, who continues to hunt her down. Amy finds her way into the large metal work shed, and here she finds Brooke, who's burnt to a crisp but somehow still fucking alive underneath a blanket. Brooke struggles, and she's like, "Help me, help." She's struggling and beg for help. Amy begs. Amy, this dumbass. She's like, "Brooke, get up so we can get out. You come on, Brooke, you gotta get up so we can get out." Hey, bitch, Brooke ain't able to get up. You're going to have to help her ass up. Like, she can barely even speak, let alone get up and run.
The fact that she's still alive is
another thing.
Infuriating.
I was too. I was like, are you kidding me? She was set on full body fire.
They show them pouring gasoline all over her face,
like,
into
drenched.
her mouth.
Yes.
I mean, just all over her.
Yeah.
And throwing a match and lighting her on fire. That bitch would be a crispy critter.
Well, she is crispy, but she is still alive.
So
unless they're saying like Bill and like Moseley and Kane just kind of like watched her burn for like a few seconds and then quickly put her out and just to leave her there. That's the only explanation that why she would still be alive. But so Amy's like, "Brooke, get up," and Brooke can't move, rightfully so, because which is good.
Her eyes still look beautiful, by the way.
She does have beautiful eyes.
Considering she would be fucking blackened balls of goo.
Yeah. Amy hears sounds of a machine turning on, I think, or something, and she hides. In comes Higgins. He, too, finds Brooke, who mouths the words, "Help me." But Moseley just pops up behind Higgins, stabs him in the back with something, killing him. He's dead.
It looked like a machete or something. It came through the front of his chest.
I didn't think it was a machete. I thought it was like a screwdriver or something.
Whatever it was, it burst through the front of his chest.
I didn't see that part.
And he goes, "Ugh," and he dies.
So Higgins is dead.
Then Bill Moseley looks at Crispy Critter.
Yeah.
He's like...
and just stabs her.
And just...
stabs her. Brooke's now dead.
What? Shit. This is one of my gripes.
Okay.
And I've griped about it before, but I'm going to go ahead and gripe about it again.
Sure.
Why would you torture someone? Because if that is what's happened, it looks as if they may have tortured her, burned her, kept her alive for more torture later on, or something of that nature. To torture someone, to tie them up, and then just go, "Nah, never mind, bah, you're dead."
Yeah.
It just seems like, why did you do that?
Again, we don't know what the hell the point is of this movie. Like, if they're torturing or not. This movie's just so messed up. We have no idea.
Yeah.
Anyway, Moseley starts looking around the shed for Amy. Amy emerges from the shadows with a shovel, bashes Moseley in the face with it, knock him down. Now, instead of continuing to beat Moseley to make sure he's dead, she drops the shovel and runs away.
Another one of my many gripes.
I see this, I'm like, oh, Aaron's going to love that one.
Yeah.
But she's instantly cut off by Kane, who enters. Moseley gets up, knocks Amy to the floor. He grabs a hammer, mounts Amy. Moseley yells at her about fast cars, reality shows, beauty pageants.
This isn't a reality show, MTV, bitch.
Yeah, he's just going on some rant.
It's
about teenagers in general, really.
Pretty much. I hate teenagers. I get it, Bill. I'm right there with you, but this is a little extreme, baby. Come on, calm it down.
While he yells at her, we get bombarded with slow motion flashbacks of all the earlier scenes throughout the movie. Like, it
all
basically
the shit
retells the entire movie in slow motion flashbacks. It is one after another. It's fucking atrocious. It's garbage. Kane stands there watching all of this transpire.
So Bill Moseley's yelling at her. It flashes back to Kane. Kane's got big, wide. His eyes are open as big as they can go.
Yeah.
He's just looking at this, watching
tiny
this
little
happen.
head.
Bill Moseley's yelling. Flashback to weird crap. Flashback to Kane's eyes.
Yeah. Moseley says
yeah.
something like, "Don't worry, I'm going to make you look real pretty." I think that's what he says. This triggers another goddamn flashback. Another one. And this time we see the scene where young Moseley fucks up Kane's face again with the hammer and chisel and all that. Moseley raises... so we see the whole scene again. Moseley raises... we go back to present. Raises an arm to getting ready to strike Amy with the hammer. But Kane suddenly goes all Darth Vader Emperor here.
Yes, that's exactly what I was going to say. He had his Darth Vader moment and was like, no.
He doesn't say anything, but he grabs Moseley's arm, yanks him up. Amy gets up, runs away while Kane manhandles Moseley.
That's exactly what I thought. I'm like, oh, he's fucking having his Darth Vader moment. Look at this shit.
Kane forces Moseley over to the portable wood chipper we saw earlier. It pushes Moseley down into it face first, killing him. Blood's flying everywhere. And I'm like, what? I don't really get this. I don't get this at all. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, it really doesn't. Especially what happens later at the very end of this movie. I don't understand why this is happening. Amy, we see her running through the woods. She makes her way to a road. A car is driving up behind her, but she doesn't seem to see it at all, even though the headlights are shining right on her. The car isn't slowing down. Suddenly, Jason comes leaping out from fucking nowhere, saves Amy at the last possible second by tackling her to the ground. The SUV comes to a screeching halt, and we see the cop that Higgins had talked to earlier in the movie.
Partner, I guess. Co-worker.
Just a
other
co-worker.
cop. Yeah, but you've seen him already.
Yeah. He gets out.
What are you kids doing?
He's like, Russia's like, are you guys okay? What's going on? And then we hear the sounds of an ambulance, and all three of them look up. They're all like kneeling. They're all on the road, kneeling down or whatever, laying up. They all look up just in time to see Kane driving the ambulance, speeding towards them. The ambulance is just about to plow into all three of them when blackout, roll credits. That's fucking old 37.
That's old 37.
Yeah, I fucking hate this ending. Like, I don't. I get.
We both have time size.
Yeah. Okay. So Kane has his Darth Vader come to Jesus whatever moment. Like, I'm gonna save this girl. Fine, so be it. But then he turns around and just kills three people with his aim. Like,
and then he's like, you know what? That wasn't a good choice.
Like, why would he save her just to turn around and kill her again? Like, I don't get this ending at all. Just why did he kills Bill Moseley, fine. Just end it there. You know, have Amy get saved by Jason. Who should, again, Jason should be fucking dead anyway.
Kane Hodder's the savior. He saved you.
Jason saves you from the cops. Says, oh my God, your kid's okay. And they look at the cop like you won't believe you won't believe what just happened. And then blackout there.
You better put seatbelts on your ears, buddy, because I'm taking them for a ride.
Yeah, and then that's it. Leave it at that. That fine, whatever. But I don't understand it. Kane becoming good and then killing them at the same time makes zero sense to me at all. I don't get it. I hated the ending. So anyway, that's old 37. Let's move on to this week's favorite kills.
There can be only one favorite kill.
All right, favorite kills, Aaron. What do you got?
I gotta say the kills are actually pretty weak.
They are very weak.
They're pretty weak, and I was expecting, indie horror, low budget horror with Kane Hodder, kind of this iconic, killing machine in the form of Jason and Hatchet and what have you, and Bill Moseley, he's a wacky, crazy guy from Texas Chainsaw Massacre fame, so you're expecting something. You're not expecting great story. You're expecting great kills.
Yeah.
Right. And we didn't get that.
Nope.
We didn't get that at all.
No.
I'm really disappointed. Jeez. I mean, even when you were pushing Bill Moseley into a wood chipper, it's not graphic.
It's not. It's really not that graphic.
It's not graphic at all.
All you see is blood spray on Kane. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, so I guess I'm gonna go with the the sexy hunky guy trying to climb out of the SUV who got the weird power.
Oh yeah, I actually forgot about that guy.
Yeah,
the
like,
weird
that was because at least
blade.
it looked like it killed him.
Yeah,
and
okay,
the blood sprayed out all crazy.
Yeah, that's the goriest kill of the movie. That really is.
So that's the one I'm going with.
I actually forgot about that one. I'm actually going with Brooke just because it made me laugh. Not the fact that she got burned, but just the little he kills Higgins and he looks down at Brooke still alive and he goes stab, just that real fast stab, and she's dead. I'm like okay.
It's so weak.
It's so weak, but I just something about that. It made me. It's the only point in the movie that I was like I don't know. They all suck.
There was a little bit of humor to it, like oh yeah, this bitch, bow,
exactly.
done.
Like they're fucking
like oh she's still alive, bang,
not anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. I mean, it's weak. It's a weak one, but
and I was so disappointed with that because again, like I said, indie horror.
Honestly, you think with Bill Moseley and Kane Hodder, I mean, you think okay, their kills are going to be good, right?
We're not expecting great acting. We're not expecting anything out of the actors and actors that are in this. We expect great
kills,
fun.
Yeah, you expect kills, not a fucking teenage soap opera.
Yes.
But so all right, there you have it, guys. It's really weak this week, but that's our take on our favorite kills. Moving on to the odds and ends.
Not only did they watch these films, they researched them too. Ugh, what is wrong with these guys?
All right, ratings. IMDb gives it a 4 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes is no official thermometer score, but it does have a 33% audience score. And Amazon gives it a 3 out of 5. Plot keywords, there were 72 plot keywords.
Wow.
But not a goddamn one of them was even fun, funny, interesting. They're all just bland, run of the mill, nothing worth repeating.
Any panties?
Nope.
Huh. You think out of 72, our panty lovers would come through?
Panty lovers have been weak lately. We have not had a whole lot of the panty lovers recently.
We may have to rescind their their future inductee into the Hall of Fame.
That'd be funny. Hall of Famer panty lover.
But I wouldn't mind doing it.
Actually,
but they need to step up their game.
I was going to bring this up later, but speaking of the Hall of Fame, I was thinking because we have WrestleMania coming up in a few weeks, and we'll be inducting our new class of Hall of Fame on our WrestleMania episode to coincide with that. So
sure.
So So if you have any suggestions for our Hall of Fame, guys, if you want to shout out any, we have a list of possible inductees we're keeping, and we will be deciding who goes into this year's Hall of Fame class.
That might not be a bad idea to put it out to the Moon Goons and see.
Yeah, but keep in mind there's a caveat though. I mean, it's not like don't give us like Kane Hodder, don't give us
sure
Robert England.
Oh no. We offer them our thoughts.
Oh, okay. I would say they could suggest something to us based on what.
No.
Oh yeah, but keep in mind this is our horrible Hall of Fame, not horror Hall of Fame.
This is our fucking show, assholes.
Yeah. So we're not looking for like the the ones that are going to be in every other horror Hall of Fame. These are ours that have been on the show repeatedly that we just somehow keep managing to show up in shitty horror movies. All right. Anyway, so that's that for trivia. There are two things I mean somewhat worth noting. Some of the international titles. This movie is also known by Ambulance 37, Highway 37, and Death Call, which whatever.
Death Call is okay with me.
Yeah, but yeah, not a whole lot of people really call anybody though.
Old 37 though.
Yeah, well, I get the old. Honestly, a Death Call probably would make more sense because for a movie that's supposed to
Ambulance 37 is probably the best one.
I get older because it's an old ambulance, so old, but still. For a movie that's about 2 killer paramedics in an ambulance, there's very little paramedics in ambulance in this movie. It's fucking it's ridiculous. And supposedly the script was based on a nightmare by writer Paul Travers or or whatever his name is. The budget, couldn't find a budget for this one.
Dang, I thought we might actually have a shot.
I thought so too. I was like, okay, now we should have a budget, but no.
And these young aspiring little actors and actresses.
Yeah, I really thought we'd have a good shot of the budget for this too, but apparently not. All right, so that brings us to 5-star reviews.
These special movies have a place in these special people's hearts. 5-star reviews.
I don't know what that was.
I don't know what that was either. That was an interesting noise. Okay, so Amazon has 109 total reviews on Amazon. 31% are 5-star, with 21% being 1-star. So we're going to have some conflicting reviews on this one. From Commander Awesome writes...
Commander Awesome?
Commander Awesome.
I like the name.
Writes, an instant classic. Where to begin? This movie had it all. Great premise, great visuals, solid acting. Horror movie veterans Kane Hodder and Bill Moseley joined forces to terrorize some teenagers. That could be enough to make it a cult classic, but wait, there's more! Brandy Cyrus makes her film debut here as well. That's 3 people I've heard of. So there's some recognizable talent in this film. The rest of the cast will no doubt be recognizable before much longer. Although the protagonist is female, this isn't a girl runs from killers crap. The killers are well written and they act like normal people would. There are motivations to their actions. The characters are well defined and thought out like real people and not just cardboard cutouts like all too many horror movies before them. I absolutely enjoy this movie. It's going to be watched repeatedly and on every Halloween. 5 stars.
This is her introduction, Brandy Spears or whatever.
Brandy Cyrus.
Brandy Cyrus. This is her introduction. This is her introduction. This is her introduction.
No.
This shouldn't be the third person you've ever heard of.
But
That's what he said in his review.
This isn't her first movie. No, well, I don't know. It's probably her first movie. But before she was on, she was on Hannah Montana with Miley Cyrus and some other stuff.
What the fuck is that guy watching Hannah Montana?
Exactly. Yeah, I thought the same thing. All right, from Saint Sinner writes, and his title, he titles his review "Horror Movie Expert." Now, about the movie,
Ooh.
Bill Moseley and Kane Hodder are the main reason why I bought this movie because they're amazing horror icons. Moseley kicks so much ass as a psycho. The story is good, but the kills are twice as better. That's horrible grammar. There's no holes, and everything is explained from beginning to end. 5 stars.
He's not an expert grammar.
That's bullshit. That's everything about that movie's review on. Ramon A writes, it's an okay movie. I liked it. 5 stars. Arlandia G, interestingly weird, but I guess it's worth a watch. 5 stars.
I love how people are just like, yeah, 5 stars. I mean, this is not your Uber driver. You don't have to like give him 5 stars every time.
Yeah,
you can actually be a little more choosy with the movies.
Interesting. I guess it's worth a watch. 5. That's like a 2-star, 3-star best review. Like, come on.
It's like these people just give 5 stars to give 5 stars. Yes, when my Uber driver does just an okay job, of course I'll still give him 5 stars. I'm not gonna be that weirdo that like, yeah, because apparently the 5-star rating hurts him or helps him or whatever. Yeah. If you piss me off, I'll give you 4.
Yeah. And then the last 5-star from Judy writes, of course I love. Someone I know is in it. 5 stars.
One of my favorites. Those are always some of my favorites.
And then the 1-star reviews, which I think I need to get a new. I need to start getting like a new
audio
thing, and maybe say if I make like conflicting reviews or conflicting opinions or something. Steven writes, the acting is horrible in this movie. You could very easily find any group of high school kids that have better line delivery. From Ya Betcha! Vulgar, cruel, very beginning. Within 5-10 minutes, my opinion became this is meant for a sick-minded, disturbed audience. I am unable to understand why such trash is produced or allowed.
Yay!
Somebody's really oversensitive because it's not that cruel or vulgar. Or there's hardly any real cussing in this movie, I don't think. Anyway, from Snurfle, talk about a stupid movie that doesn't make sense. The girl that gets killed riding on the cars doesn't even seem to go with the movie. It's like 2 different movies.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I put this one down. That's a great point.
That's a great point.
Ray Stewart, a movie about an ambulance should feature said ambulance. 1 star. Mickey, terrible movie. Nothing like the trailer. This is more of a teenage drama than anything else. Tons of wasted scenes dealing with adolescent youth problems. The villains in this movie are not menacing at all. They don't feel threatening or invincible like your typical horror slasher characters. The movie uses flashbacks at the worst time. They completely intrude on the uninteresting story. The acting is awful. I understand it's independent, but it's really bad. No good scares and barely any gore or shock scares. Do not be fooled by trailer. 1 star. Benway, same old rehashed bullshit. Was pretty much an MTV teen horror movie. We've said that.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna scan these. Okay. Evil Fiend from Planet 9. This was a horrible movie. Guess I should have known when I saw it was an Alan Smithy project. Gee, that guy's terrible. Winky has a smiley face. In all seriousness, it was a train wreck from start to finish. I stuck out because of Bill Moseley was involved. He did a great job with the role he was given. Though he didn't exactly break any new ground. I was surprised by how little Kane Hodder was used until the last 20 minutes. Most of this piece of crap focused on a bunch of awful, idiotic teenagers. Still give Moseley a 4-star review. I think I'm probably going to skip the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah. They would skip the last one.
Because those 1 stars I really agree with.
Yeah. So, well, that brings us to our final thought, our final take. And Aaron, you kind of started saying it, so take it away.
Man, so bad it's scary. But I gotta say, I feel as if the premise wasn't bad. You know, I'm saying so bad it's scary, but I like the idea of the premise. It's this rural. If it's more of a rural town, establish that as a rural town, and You know, like they could say these guys come, they intercept calls and they go. You know, I wanted to see more ambulance. I wanted to see more, like coming up on scenes, coming up in things and like killing people, to take them away, or they work for the end. They're like creepy, weird guys who work amongst other paramedics, and it's like, oh, there's something wrong with that guy. That guy's weird. Kane Hodder, he's a strange one. Look out for him. Something like that. Unfortunately, no. It's that they're killers that are out there in the middle of nowhere. And dude, they never established that they were ever that crazy of killers.
No.
They don't have a history of killing people until their mom was run over by horrible, sadistic teenagers in muscle cars.
Yeah.
And essentially, they're trying to get revenge. And I can't blame them. I really can't blame them. And there's no history of them killing people prior.
No.
It's not like they've been on a killing crazy, they're crazy cannibal killers who've just been killing for years and years and years.
Yeah, like the Wrong Turn series.
Yeah, it's like, no, these fucking assholes ran over their mom. They saw the car that did it. They killed the one.
Yeah.
Like it's that upset me. Another thing that upset me was, even if it is one ambulance to cover a whole 300 square mile area, if you call in, say, hey, we got in a car accident. We're at this such and such road. The paramedics are on their way. Sure. Bill Moseley and Kane might be able to intercept it and get there first. But that doesn't fucking mean the other ambulance isn't going to fucking come.
Yeah.
And they're going to see a wrecked car. They're going to see blood that is sprayed out of a goddamn wood chipper all over the road. They're also going to see, just all this shit. Like, what the fuck happened here?
I overlooked that because I guess there were so many other issues I had with the movie, but that's a great point. Like,
they're going to be like, what the fuck?
There could be cops should be investigating that shit. Like, that would be a report. Yeah, you're great. The other ambulance would still show up.
Yes.
They got there first. And
yes, the other first
something's not right here.
Would be there and be like, what the fuck?
Where are the bodies? Where are the people?
Yeah. Even if Bill Moseley and Kane Hodder towed the car away, took everything away, and cleaned some of the
They wouldn't have any time to do that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's no time to do that. Even if they did, they'd still see the screeching of the tires. There'd be tire tracks. There'd be evidence of an accident.
Yeah.
Like a crashed in tree. That just bums me out.
No,
too.
I agree. And honestly, I agree with you as well. So bad it's scary. Mm-hmm. I also agree with you that it had a good premise. Like I really like the premise of it too.
I like the idea of the movie.
I think again, but one reason it doesn't work is if you're gonna keep it rural, but don't go from rural to like a
whole bunch of
uppity fucking
teens.
Orange County beach,
yes.
beauty salons, Orange County beach stuff, and then
teenagers getting tit jobs. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, keep it rural, and then also like if they're gonna be killing people, people would be noticing. They very we have this one missing kid, the one accident from the missing. Is that the only people they mentioned? They don't talk about all the other supposedly missing dead people that have gone missing on this highway. So half the town should be knowing about this. But if you're gonna do it rural and do it like they should be, instead of everyday townsfolk, it should be a group of people passing through that have no connection to the area at all,
right?
To make it work. Mm-hmm. And then do more with the ambulance, do more with Kane and Bill. Not again, we don't need the MTV soap opera that has 90% of this movie. It's bullshit.
The slow motion cardio kickboxing scene.
Yeah. Or the slow motion of the people just sitting in a car doing nothing but in slow motion. This movie is just. And now I get why it's Alan Smithy and the guy's name took it. I want to see what if this movie is that bad that somebody took it away from the guy. Either that I'd hate to see what that original movie was, that this is what came out from it, or either the guy was like, maybe it was actually good and whoever took it away really fucked it up.
Yeah, he's like, don't fuck. He's like, no, my vision's good. No, we need a cop hitting this guy from the middle of nowhere for no reason.
It's not. But I swear, this movie should have been produced like MTV Studios or something. That's what you would get from this movie.
It feels like an unfinished product. It feels like it wasn't done. It just was unfinished, and they were just like, well, we can put a scene of Kane Hodder running him over at the very end.
We don't have no scenes. Always throwing more flashbacks. Let's keep adding more flashbacks.
Slow motion, everything. That will take up time.
That will slow down. That will add some time till we slow it down. Yeah, this movie is, I would say a train wreck, but it's a car wreck of a movie.
It's a first responder car wreck.
Yeah, it's had a lot of promise and potential, but it fails for me too. So bad it's scary. We both agree this week. So that's it. That's Old 37, guys. Remember, we're gonna check out our bonus episode for the first round bracket.
Who
results.
recommended that again? Moses.
Ron
Moses.
Yep. So, well, thank you for recommending it. I hope you enjoyed it.
Fuck you, Ron.
I want to say fuck you, Ron, because we have another listener episode coming up that's way worse than this one.
But Ron, I say that in all due respect. I'm just being silly. Thank you very much for recommending the movie. It was a stinker.
It was a stinker. Anyway, guys, we'll be back. Check out our bonus episodes. In the meantime, watch more horror movies and remember to always keep it tight.